Please help me to reach 7,000 subscribers. The first day at Ridgewood High felt like stepping into a movie Emily never auditioned for. New town, new school, same old stairs. As she walked through the halls, backpack slung over one shoulder, earbuds in, whispers followed her like a shadow. That's the new girl from Seattle. Her mom died last year, right?
So,
She's
what do you guys think about the
kinda
new
weird.
cafeteria menu?
Emily
I actually
kept
really
her
like
eyes
the pasta,
down,
but the
pretending
dessert
not to
options
hear.
could be better.
She'd learned long ago. Attention wasn't always a good thing. Her first class was English. The walls were lined with motivational
think you
posters
can
and
just
faded
record
pictures
me
of
like
past
this?
graduating classes. She found a seat by the window, hoping to disappear into it. Then came her Chloe Dalton, Ridgewood's unspoken ruler. Perfect hair, perfect nails, perfect everything. The kind of girl who could smile and ruin your life in the same breath. She stopped right beside Emily's desk. "You're sitting in my friend's seat." Emily looked up calmly. "Oh, didn't see her name on it," a few students snickered. Chloe tilted her head, that sweet smile sharpening like glass. "Cute, you must be new. We like to keep things organized here." Emily's tone stayed even. "Then I guess I'll fit right in." The teacher walked in before it could go further, but the tension lingered like perfume. By lunchtime, everyone already knew. The new girl had stood up to Chloe Dalton, and no one did that. Emily sat alone at the far end of the cafeteria, picking at her salad. Around her the noise buzzed, laughter, gossip, the scrape of plastic trays. Then a voice. "You planning to eat that or just stare at it until it apologizes?" She looked up to see a boy with messy brown hair and a grin that felt out of place in this world of polished fakes. "Depends who's asking," she said. "Jake. I sit next to you in history. You know, the guy Miss Peters keeps yelling at." Emily gave a faint smile. "Yeah, you're kind of hard to miss." He sat down without asking. "Word is you took on Chloe this morning," Emily sighed. "I didn't take on anyone. I just sat down." Jake leaned in conspiratorially. "That's all it takes with her. She's like a shark, one drop of blood and boom, she circles." Emily arched a brow. "Sounds fun." "Oh, it is," he said dryly. "Especially when she decides you're her new project." Before Emily could respond, a tray clattered beside her. Chloe and her entourage stood over the table, their smiles sugar-coated and dangerous. "Hey, new girl," Chloe said sweetly. "We were just talking about you." "Lucky me," Emily replied, voice calm. Chloe's friend Taylor giggled. "We have a little tradition for newcomers, kind of a welcome thing," Jake muttered. "You don't have to." But Chloe raised a hand. She leaned in close to Emily. "It's simple. You sit with us at lunch today. Just one rule." Emily folded her arms. "And what's that?" Chloe's eyes gleamed. "You tell us a secret. Something real." The table went quiet. Jake shot her a warning glance, but Emily didn't flinch. She looked Chloe straight in the eyes. "My secret? I don't play games I can't win." A few gasps. Chloe blinked, her smile fading for just a second. Then she laughed, tossing her hair back. "Oh, I like you." And just like that, she walked away, leaving Emily in a storm of whispers. Later that day in the locker hallway, Jake caught up with her. "Okay, I officially owe you popcorn." That was legendary, Emily smirked. She's not used to hearing no. "Yeah, and now you're on her list," he said. "You might want to start wearing armor." She zipped her jacket. "Let her come. I've dealt with worse." Jake tilted his head. "Worse, huh?" Emily hesitated, then said softly, "You could say that." The bell rang before he could ask more. After school, Emily waited at the bus stop, the autumn wind tugging at her hoodie. Across the parking lot, Chloe stood by her convertible, laughing with her friends. But every few seconds her gaze flicked toward Emily. There was something in her eyes. Not just hatred, but curiosity. Like Chloe Dalton wasn't used to being challenged. And maybe, secretly, she liked it. When Emily's bus pulled up, she got on without looking back. But from behind the tinted glass, she could see Chloe still standing there, smiling. Not friendly. Not fake, something colder. Something that promised, "This isn't over." That night, Emily sat in her small bedroom, walls bare except for one photo of her mom. She traced the edge of the frame with her finger. "New school, new start," she whispered. "Right, Mom?" Her phone buzzed. A new message from an unknown number. Unknown. "Nice first day, new girl. See you tomorrow." She stared at the screen. No profile picture, no name. Then another message popped up. Unknown. You should have stayed quiet. Her heart skipped. She looked out the window. The street outside empty under the dim light. Somewhere out there, someone was watching. If you were Emily, would you have stood up to Chloe? Or kept your head down? Comment, I'd fight back if you think Emily did the right thing. The next afternoon, the final bell at Ridgewood High rang like a warning. Students spilled into the hallways, laughter and chatter bouncing off the lockers. But Emily felt the shift, that low buzz that comes before a storm. Jake caught up to her near her locker. You're walking home, right? I can... Before he could finish, Chloe's voice sliced through the noise. Emily! Every head turned. Chloe stood at the end of the hall, surrounded by her entourage, Taylor, Madison, and Brooke. All flawless, all smirking, Emily shut her locker slowly. Guess I'm not walking home alone after all. Jake sighed under his breath. You really don't have to do this. She gave a small, defiant smile. I'm not doing anything. But Chloe was already moving closer. Heard you've been running your mouth, she said, stopping a few feet away. Telling people I've got a problem with you. Emily folded her arms. Do you? Chloe smiled. Not yet. The crowd thickened. Students sensing drama, phones already raised. The air smelled like perfume and tension. Emily kept her voice calm. Look, Chloe, I don't want to make this a thing. Oh, but it already is, Chloe replied. You embarrassed me in front of the whole class yesterday. And then today you sat in my spot at lunch, Emily blinked. You were late. Gasps, laughter. Someone whispered, oh, she's done. Chloe's smile didn't waver. You really think you can walk into my school, talk back to me, and not pay for it? Emily took a step forward. I don't owe you anything. The crowd oohed. Jake muttered, oh boy. Chloe's tone dropped low. Then maybe we settle this after school. Behind the gym, Emily tilted her head. You want to fight me? Chloe smirked. Call it a conversation. By 3:30, the back of the gym was packed. Word had spread fast. Emily stood by the chain-link fence, backpack on the ground, heart pounding. Not from fear, but from something sharper. Determination. Jake hovered nearby. You don't have to do this, Em. Chloe just wants a show. Emily met his eyes. Then let's give her one. The crowd parted as Chloe arrived, perfect as ever. Even her sneakers looked designer. Taylor whispered something that made Chloe laugh. You ready, new girl? Emily didn't answer. She just stood still, calm, unreadable. Chloe stepped closer. Here's how this goes. You apologize for yesterday, admit you were out of line, and maybe I let you survive this semester. Emily's voice was low. And if I don't? Chloe's smirk deepened. Then I make sure no one at Ridgewood forgets your name. For a moment, everything went silent. Even the wind stopped. Then Emily said, Funny, I wasn't planning on being forgettable. Before Chloe could respond, someone in the crowd shouted, Get her! Chloe lunged, but Emily sidestepped, smooth and quick. Chloe stumbled, spinning around in shock. The crowd roared. Jake shouted, Emily, don't! But it was too late. Chloe shoved her hard. Emily hit the fence but caught her balance fast. She didn't hit back. Not yet done? Emily asked quietly. Chloe's face turned red. You think you're tough? She swung again, wild this time. Emily ducked, grabbed her wrist, and twisted just enough to make Chloe yelp and pull away. Gasps erupted. Phones were recording everything. Emily, 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 someone chanted. Chloe looked around, furious, humiliated. You don't know who you're messing with. Emily stepped forward, voice steady. Yeah, I do. A scared girl who thinks control means fear. The words hit harder than any punch. Chloe's lip trembled, just for a second, before she stormed off, pushing through the crowd. Taylor and the others scrambled after her, leaving Emily standing there in the fading light. Jake exhaled. Well, that could have gone worse, Emily smirked. You think? He looked around. Half the school just saw you take down the queen bee. You're officially a legend, or a target, she shrugged. Guess we'll find out which, he grinned. You're crazy. I like that. Emily gave him a look that said she wasn't sure if that was a compliment. That evening, the videos hit Ridgewood social media like wildfire. New Girl vs. Chloe trended locally within hours. Clips of Chloe's failed attack looped over and over, captioned with laughing emojis, and finally someone shut her down. Emily sat on her bed, scrolling through comments. Some were supportive, others weren't. She started it. No one humiliates Chloe and gets away with it. Watch your back, Emily. Her phone buzzed with a text from Jake. Jake. You okay? Emily, yeah, just tired. Jake, you know she's not done, right? Emily. Neither am I. Downstairs, the house creaked with quiet. Emily's aunt, who worked night shifts, was already gone. She walked to the kitchen window, staring out into the street. Under the flickering lamppost, a black car idled. No headlights, no sound. Emily frowned. Then, as if it sensed her watching, the car slowly rolled away. She told herself it was nothing. Just nerves, just Ridgewood paranoia. But deep down, something told her, Rama anymore. The next morning, Chloe's seat in English was empty. Everyone whispered, traded theories. Her parents pulled her out. She's suspended. She's plotting revenge. Emily didn't say a word. But when she opened her locker at the end of the day, a folded note fluttered out. She unfolded it slowly. You think it's over? You have no idea who you're dealing with. If you were in Emily's place, would you walk away or stand your ground? Comment, stand tall, if you'd face Chloe head on. That night, Emily couldn't sleep. The note from Chloe lay on her desk, a thin sheet of paper that carried more weight than the stack of homework she hadn't touched. She traced the letter with her finger. You have no idea who you're dealing with. A chill ran down her spine. She knew she wasn't just the new girl at Ridgewood High. She had a past, one she rarely shared, one that could destroy her if anyone found out. Her mom's old journal sat open beside her. Emily flipped through it, reading the notes about codes, encrypted messages, and people who needed to be protected at all costs. She'd been trained young to think ahead, to calculate risk, to never reveal too much. And now all of that training was about to collide with high school drama. The next morning, Emily walked into Ridgewood High, her hoodie pulled low over her eyes. Whispers followed her, but this time she felt a sense of control. She wasn't just the new girl anymore. She had a plan. Jake caught up with her at her locker. You're quiet today. Too quiet. Emily smirked faintly. Quiet's underrated. He frowned. Emily, you've got secrets, I can see it. Everyone at this school thinks you're just some mysterious new girl, but there's more. Emily tilted her head. Like what? Jake's eyes softened. I don't know yet. But I want to help if you'll let me. She hesitated, then nodded. Maybe later. For now, let's just get through the day. By lunch, Chloe and her crew were already there, waiting. Taylor had that sneaky grin. Madison looked impatient. And Brooke was watching Emily with curiosity rather than malice this time. New girl, Chloe said sweetly, as if nothing had happened yesterday. Care to join us? Emily shook her head. Thanks, but I've got work to do. Chloe arched an eyebrow. Work? Schoolwork? Emily's lips curved into a thin smile. Let's just say, personal business. The words made the table go quiet. Even the cafeteria noise seemed to fade. Chloe leaned in, lowering her voice. Personal business? That sounds interesting. Care to share? Emily met her gaze steadily. Some things are better left unsaid. Chloe's eyes narrowed. For the first time, she looked genuinely curious rather than dominant. After lunch, Emily met Jake in the library. You're dodging her questions well, he said. Emily glanced around the quiet stacks. She wants to know too much. If she finds out what I really do, it could get dangerous. Jake frowned. Dangerous? High school dangerous or real dangerous? Emily's eyes flicked to the window. Both. She pulled a folder from her backpack, a collection of documents, encrypted notes, and a small USB drive. My father. He wasn't just an engineer. He worked on something big, something that could change lives, and some people would kill to get it. Jake's jaw dropped. You're serious? This isn't just a family story? Emily shook her head. Dead serious. That's why I had to move. That's why I'm careful who I trust. And now, Chloe, the school, everything, it's all a part of the chessboard, and I have to stay 3 moves ahead. As the afternoon classes dragged on, Emily felt the eyes on her. Chloe had shifted tactics. No more direct confrontations in public. Now, subtle pranks, whispered rumors, and constant surveillance. By the time school ended, Emily had already pieced together that Chloe was testing her, watching to see if Emily had weaknesses. She texted Jake, "Emily, meet me at the park, now." Jake, "On my way." The park was deserted except for the fading sunlight and the rustle of leaves in the wind. Emily took a deep breath. "I have to tell you the truth, Jake. I'm not just some new student. I've been trained to handle situations like Chloe." Jake stared, eyes wide. "Like what? Martial arts? Self-defense?" Emily nodded. "More than that. Strategy, planning, staying calm under pressure, even deception if necessary." Jake's eyebrows shot up. "You're incredible," she smiled faintly. "Incredible enough to make people underestimate me." Jake hesitated. "So, this isn't about high school drama anymore. This is serious?" Emily nodded again. "Deadly serious. Chloe's just the beginning. I can't let anyone get in the way of what I'm protecting, and that includes her." As the sun set, Emily's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Unknown. We know what you're hiding. Be careful." Emily's hand tightened around her phone. "They're watching," she whispered. Jake's hand landed on her shoulder. "Then we fight smart." Emily looked up at him, determination flashing in her eyes. "We don't fight to win. We fight to survive, and to protect what matters most." She stuffed the USB drive into her hoodie pocket. "Tomorrow, Chloe makes her next move, and I'll be ready." That night, Emily couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Shadows outside her window shifted, the wind carrying whispers she couldn't place. But she was ready. She had a secret weapon, herself. And for the first time since arriving at Ridgewood High, Emily smiled, because she knew, no matter what Chloe threw at her, no matter who was watching, she had the skills, the training, and the courage to turn the tables. If you think Emily's secret gives her the edge, comment "Emily's unstoppable" below. And if you're already hooked, smash that like button. The next showdown is going to be epic. The halls of Ridgewood High were alive with whispers and sideways glances. Ever since Emily's showdown with Chloe, everyone had a story to tell. And Emily was at the center of them all. As she walked to her locker, she could hear snippets of conversation. "Did you see Chloe yesterday? She got owned. Emily's hiding something. I can feel it." Emily ignored it all. She'd learned that paying attention to gossip was like feeding a fire. It only grew bigger. Jake caught up with her by the cafeteria, holding 2 drinks from the vending machine. "Here," he said, handing her a bottle of water. "You're going to need it," Emily smirked. "Thanks, what's the verdict?" He glanced around nervously. "People are talking. Mostly about Chloe, but some are whispering about you, like really whispering." Emily shook her head. "Let them. I don't have time to care." Before Jake could respond, a familiar voice interrupted. "Emily." It was Madison, one of Chloe's usual crew, but something was different. Her smile was tentative, almost cautious. I wanted to say you were impressive yesterday," Madison said quietly. "Chloe's been difficult for all of us, and, well, you handled her better than anyone I've seen." Emily blinked. "Thanks. I appreciate that." Madison hesitated, then added, "I think we could be friends if you wanted." Jake shot Emily a surprised look. Emily studied Madison for a moment, then nodded. "We can try." But Ridgewood High wasn't a place where friendship was simple. By the next morning, rumors had already started swirling. Someone claimed Emily had a mysterious past involving secret missions. Another said she was dangerous and not to be trusted. Even some of the teachers whispered behind closed doors. At lunch, Emily sat with Madison and Jake. "I swear, people think I'm some spy or something," Emily said, exasperated. "It's high school, not a mission briefing." Madison laughed softly. "You kind of make it believable," Jake groaned. "Believe me, I've got a front row seat to the chaos." Emily smiled faintly. "Good, because Chloe's going to test me again and I need allies." And sure enough, that afternoon, Chloe made her move. It started subtle, A nudge here, a whisper there. But by the time the last bell rang, the cafeteria erupted in laughter. Chloe had left a note in Emily's locker. Nice little circle of friends you've got. Wonder how long it'll last. Emily read it quietly, folding it back into her pocket. Madison leaned over. She's trying to scare you. Emily shook her head. She's testing me. Not scaring me, Jake frowned. Testing or not, she's escalating. You sure you want to deal with this? Emily's eyes hardened. I don't have a choice. If I back down now, it'll never stop. The next day, Chloe cornered Emily near the gym lockers. Nice friends you've got, Chloe said with a smirk. But I wonder, do they really have your back? Emily's voice was calm, steady. Maybe, but they're real. And unlike you, they don't need to prove anything by intimidating people. Chloe's face tightened. We'll see how long that lasts. Don't forget, I don't play fair. Before Emily could respond, the bell rang and Chloe vanished into the crowd. That afternoon, Emily and Madison walked together to the park, talking quietly. Look, Madison said, I know Chloe's hard to deal with. But you have something she doesn't. People actually want to be around you. Emily glanced at her. Why would anyone want to be around me? Madison smiled. Because you don't pretend. You don't care about being popular. And you're brave. Most people at this school wouldn't survive one day in your shoes. Emily felt a warmth she hadn't expected. Thanks, that means more than you know. Meanwhile, Chloe was plotting. In the back of the cafeteria, she whispered to Taylor and Brooke. She's making friends, Chloe hissed. We can't let her think she's safe. Tomorrow we hit her where it hurts, Taylor smirked. What's the plan? Chloe leaned in, eyes gleaming. We'll spread a rumor that makes everyone question Emily's intentions. She's new. No one knows her. We just have to make them afraid of her. Brooke nodded. Perfect. That'll turn her friends against her too. The next day, whispers followed Emily like shadows. By lunch, half the cafeteria had stopped talking to her. Madison stood by her side, but even she seemed nervous. Jake sat down next to Emily. It's working. Chloe's rumors spreading fast. Emily clenched her fists under the table. It's not enough. I'll handle it. She stood and called out, voice strong enough to cut through the murmur. Everyone listen. Rumors are easy to spread, but they're lies. If you know me, you know I don't start problems. I finish them. And I don't lie to my friends. Some students stared, some whispered, but slowly the tension shifted. Madison stepped forward, smiling. I stand with Emily. And anyone who's smart enough to see the truth will too. Emily nodded at her. Thank you. Chloe's smirk faltered, just for a moment before she turned and left, muttering to herself. By the end of the day, Emily realized something important. High school wasn't just about surviving bullies or rumors. It was about finding the right people who would stand beside you when everything else tried to knock you down. She texted Jake, Emily. Today was a win. Thanks for being there, Jake, always. Tomorrow we take the next step, and Emily knew he was right. The rivalry wasn't over. It was just beginning. If you think Emily handled Chloe and the rumors perfectly, comment truth wins below. And if you're excited to see the next confrontation, hit that like button. The stakes are about to get higher. The sky over Ridgewood High was heavy with gray clouds, the kind that promised rain but never delivered. Emily felt the weight of the day pressing down on her shoulders. Jake met her at the usual spot by the lockers. You ready for today? He asked, his voice low. Emily nodded, checking the small pocket knife she kept hidden in her jacket. I don't like this, Jake. Something's off. Jake frowned. You think Chloe's escalating? Emily shook her head. It's more than Chloe. Someone's been watching me, sending messages, leaving notes, trying to make me paranoid. And I think today, they're making their move. By lunch, the cafeteria was unusually quiet, almost staged. Students seemed to avoid certain areas, glancing nervously toward Emily. Madison joined her, frowning. I've got a bad feeling about this, she whispered. Emily nodded. We'll stay alert. Stick together. But Emily's instincts screamed that this wasn't just a social attack. Someone was planning something bigger, something dangerous. After school, Emily received a message from an unknown number. Unknown. Meet me by the old gym storage room. Alone. I have information about the people hunting you. Emily's stomach twisted. She knew this could be a trap, but the possibility of gaining real intelligence about her enemies was too important to ignore. Jake saw her hesitate. "You can't go alone, Em. "I have to," she said. "If this is real, it could be our only chance to get ahead. If it's a trap, I'll handle it." He grabbed her arm. "Don't underestimate Chloe or whoever's pulling the strings. Promise me you'll be careful." Emily gave a small smile. "I always am." The old gym storage room was dimly lit, dust motes floating in the air like suspended stars. Emily moved silently, senses on high alert. The metallic scent of old equipment filled the air. "Hello, Emily," a familiar voice called from the shadows. She tensed. Chloe stepped into the light, hands raised in mock surrender. "Relax, I'm not here to hurt you." Emily narrowed her eyes. "Then why am I here?" Chloe smirked. "Information, secrets, and a little fun." Before Emily could respond, the lights flickered and the room erupted in chaos. From the shadows, figures emerged. Jake's face registered shock. "It's a setup," he shouted. But Emily was already moving. Bulls of students in dark jackets closed in, surrounding her. Emily's mind raced. This wasn't just Chloe's doing. Someone bigger was orchestrating everything. Chloe laughed. "Surprised? You thought high school drama was the worst thing you'd face? Welcome to real games, Emily." Emily dodged a swinging punch from one of the attackers, rolling across the dusty floor. Her movements were precise, trained, instinctive. Jake tried to intervene, but he was pushed back by another attacker. Madison, frozen at the doorway, shouted, "Emily!" She focused, ducking and striking where necessary, disabling 2 attackers with calculated moves. Her heart pounded, but her mind stayed sharp. Then came the betrayal. From behind a stack of gym mats, a figure emerged. Not an attacker, not Chloe, but someone Emily trusted. "James?" she whispered, disbelief lacing her voice. James, her father's former colleague, had been sent to protect her, or so she thought. Now he held a weapon, eyes cold. "You didn't think you'd survive this long without someone on the inside?" James said, voice steady, almost casual. "I have my orders." "And Emily?" "Orders are orders." Emily's stomach dropped. "You're working with them? With Chloe? With everyone trying to track me?" James nodded. "Your father's work? It belongs to us now. And you're too much of a loose end to leave alive?" Her mind raced. Every plan, every ally, every step she had trusted now seemed like a lie. Emily didn't have time to process the betrayal. James fired, the shot narrowly missing her. She dove behind a storage crate, sliding along the dusty floor. Her breathing was steady, controlled. Panic would get her killed. Chloe stepped forward, laughing. "Now, Emily, let's finish this. Admit defeat." Emily's eyes glinted. "I don't do defeat." She sprang into action, her movements a blur. Kicks, sweeps, and precise strikes disabled another attacker. She grabbed a metal pipe from the ground, swinging it with calculated force to knock James back. He stumbled but didn't go down. His expression didn't change, cold, relentless, professional. "Emily, don't make this harder than it has to be," he warned. She wiped blood from her lip, voice low and steady. "You made your choice, James. Now it's my turn." Chloe, realizing the fight was slipping, pulled out her phone. "Backup's on the way!" she shouted. Emily's eyes darted. She had minutes, maybe seconds. She grabbed Madison, who had finally found her courage, and whispered, "Follow me. Trust me." Together they dodged the attackers, weaving between stacks of equipment and broken gym mats. Emily's instincts guided them to a side exit, a narrow door leading to a fire escape outside. The rain had begun, slicking the ground, making each step treacherous. Behind them, James and Chloe's crew tried to follow, but Emily was faster, stronger, and focused. Once outside, Emily and Madison paused in the alley behind the gym. The rain soaked through their clothes, but adrenaline kept them warm. "Are you okay?" Madison asked, voice trembling. Emily nodded, catching her breath. "I'm fine for now. But this James, he's inside our circle. That's what we need to worry about." Madison shivered. "I can't believe it. I thought he was helping you." Emily's eyes were hard. "Trust isn't given freely. It's earned, and sometimes it's taken from you." Jake emerged from the shadows, soaked but smiling. "You okay?" Emily glanced at him. "For now. But the real fight isn't over. Not by a long shot." By nightfall, Emily sat in her room, analyzing every move, every betrayal, every slip. The note Chloe had left, the messages from unknown numbers, James's betrayal. It all painted a picture she couldn't ignore. Her phone buzzed again. A text from an unknown number. Unknown. Game's not over. Next time you won't escape. Emily's hands clenched into fists. Let them come. She pulled out a map of Ridgewood High, marking exits, hiding spots, and potential traps. Every hallway, every classroom, she memorized it all. Tonight, she realized something crucial. It wasn't just about surviving high school anymore. It was about outsmarting enemies who could be anyone, anywhere, including those she trusted. And Emily was ready. If you think Emily handled the trap and betrayal brilliantly, comment Emily prevails below. And if you're ready to see how she takes the fight to the next level, smash that like button. The story is about to escalate like never before. The night air was thick and heavy, the kind that made every sound sharper, every shadow longer. Ridgewood High's gymnasium, now abandoned for the evening, became the stage for the ultimate showdown. Emily, Jake, Chloe, Madison, and Brooke moved through the dim corridors, each step deliberate, each heartbeat synced with tension that made the world feel like it had narrowed to this single point. Emily's mind was calm, her focus razor sharp. Every betrayal, every rumor, every trap had led to this. And she wasn't about to let anyone, not Chloe, not James, not the syndicate, dictate the outcome. They reached the main gym door. Inside, shadows shifted, silhouetted figures lining the space. James stepped forward, flanked by Chloe's father's allies, men and women trained, dangerous, ready to crush anyone who got in their way. You shouldn't have come. Emily, James said, his voice echoing off the walls. Tonight ends badly for you. Emily stepped forward, eyes blazing. No, tonight ends the way I decide. You've underestimated me, James. You've underestimated all of us. A tense silence fell. Then the first move was made. A charged figure lunging toward Emily. The battle erupted. Emily moved like lightning, her body precise, each kick, punch, and sweep calculated. Jake blocked two attackers while taking down another with a quick, clean throw. Chloe hesitated, then joined the fray, her movements defensive but effective. Madison and Brooke provided support, creating distractions and openings for Emily. Emily's mind raced, every second analyzing threats, every muscle ready to respond. She disarmed one of James's men, using his momentum to throw him into a wall. James advanced, weapon raised, but Emily anticipated him, grabbing a nearby rope and tripping him with a swift, fluid motion. The gym became a blur of movement, shouts, grunts, and the metallic echo of strikes landing. Amid the chaos, Emily spotted Chloe's father trying to escape through the side door, carrying a briefcase, presumably containing sensitive documents related to the syndicate. Emily signaled Jake. Go after him. Jake nodded, sprinting after Chloe's father while Emily stayed to handle the remaining threats. James circled, eyes calculating. You've grown strong, but you can't win this alone. Emily's voice was calm, almost cold. I don't need to win alone. You underestimated my allies. With a flurry of swift movements, Emily incapacitated the remaining attackers, leaving only James and a few top henchmen standing. Outside, Jake cornered Chloe's father. It's over. Hand it over. Chloe's father hesitated, then, realizing the futility, dropped the briefcase. Jake secured it and contacted authorities immediately. Back inside, Emily faced James. This ends now. James lunged one last time, weapon swinging, but Emily sidestepped, using his momentum to throw him against the bleachers. She delivered a precise strike, incapacitating him without causing permanent damage. Calculated control, the mark of someone trained for both combat and strategy. James groaned, defeated. How did you? Emily's eyes met his. You underestimated me, and now you pay the price for it. The rest of the syndicate members, realizing their plan had failed, attempted to flee. Emily, Jake, Chloe, Madison, and Brooke moved quickly, corralling them toward the gym exit where authorities had arrived, alerted by Jake and the recovered documents. Within minutes, law enforcement had taken control. Syndicate members were arrested, Chloe's father detained for questioning, and James escorted under custody. Emily breathed deeply, feeling the tension slowly drain from her body. As the dust settled, Chloe stepped forward, looking at Emily with a mixture of awe and respect. You really did it, she said quietly. Emily shrugged, a faint smile on her lips. We did it together, that's the difference, Madison grinned. I can't believe I was ever afraid of you. Emily laughed softly. Fear is temporary. Trust and strategy, that's permanent. Jake approached, eyes softening. You were incredible, Emily. I've never seen anyone handle something like this before. Emily smiled at him, warmth and relief blending in her gaze. Thanks, Jake. We couldn't have done it without each other. The next morning at Ridgewood High, the story had already spread. The students whispered about the battle, about Emily's bravery, and about the syndicate being dismantled right in their school. Emily walked through the halls with Chloe, Madison, and Brooke by her side. She realized that everything, the bullying, the rumors, the betrayal, the fight, had brought them closer together. They were no longer just classmates. They were a team, bonded by shared danger and trust forged under fire. In her locker, Emily found a note from Jake. You've changed everything. I'm proud of you. Emily smiled, tucking it into her pocket. She knew her life had changed forever, not just in high school, but in the world beyond, where the challenges were bigger and the stakes higher. For the first time since arriving at Ridgewood, she felt truly in control, fearless, respected, and prepared for whatever came next. That evening, Emily sat by the window, rain tapping lightly against the glass. She reflected on everything. The betrayals, the friendships, the battles won and lost. Her phone buzzed one last time. A message from an unknown number. Unknown. You've survived, for now. But we'll be back. Emily typed back simply, Emily, I'll be ready, and with that she put the phone down, a determined smile on her face. The battles weren't over, but Emily had proven one undeniable truth. No one underestimated her and survived. She glanced at her friends, at the team she had built, and whispered, almost to herself, this is just the beginning. If you think Emily conquered the ultimate showdown brilliantly, comment Emily wins below. And if you can't wait to see what she faces next, smash that like button. Her story is far from over, and the next challenge will be even more intense. The morning sun spilled golden light across Ridgewood High, illuminating the halls with a warmth that seemed to signify a new beginning. Emily walked through the corridors, her steps confident, her shoulders squared. The battles of the past weeks, the bullying, the traps, the syndicate, had changed her forever. Students stared as she passed, some in awe, some hesitant, but all aware that Emily was no ordinary girl. She had faced impossible odds and come out stronger. Jake met her by the lockers, a small smile on his face. Morning, hero, Emily chuckled softly. Morning. We made it. Chloe approached cautiously, her expression unreadable. Emily, I just want to say, I misjudged you. You're incredible. Emily nodded, offering a faint smile. Thanks, you're not so bad yourself. I guess we're even now. Madison and Brooke lingered nearby, smiling at the scene. We've got your back, Madison said, her voice warm. Emily felt a deep sense of relief. The alliances she had fought for, the friendships she had built under fire, were finally real. School resumed its usual rhythm, though whispers of the previous battles lingered in every corner. Emily returned to her classes, taking her seat quietly, but now with a new sense of purpose. She was no longer just the new girl. She was Emily, the one who had faced down threats no one else could imagine and emerged victorious. Patrick, the quiet observer from previous days, approached her during lunch. You did it, all of it. I can't even imagine what that was like, Emily smiled softly. It wasn't easy, but I couldn't have done it alone. Patrick nodded, admiration clear in his eyes. I want to be there for the next chapter too. Emily's heart gave a small flutter. She had fought battles for her life, for trust, and now maybe for love too. Meanwhile, Ridgewood High began to heal. Chloe, once the queen bee, found herself rethinking her ways. The bullying stopped, grudges faded, and students started forming real friendships instead of alliances built on fear. The administration held meetings about the syndicate's influence, praising Emily and her friends for their bravery. Even teachers who had been skeptical now looked at her with respect. Emily realized that her fight wasn't just personal anymore. It had sparked a change in her school, a shift in power, and a message to everyone. Courage and integrity could overcome manipulation and fear. In the evening, Emily sat with Jake, Chloe, Madison, and Brooke on the rooftop of the school. watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of orange and purple. This feels peaceful, Madison said softly, leaning back. Emily nodded, taking in the moment. It's been chaotic, scary, but look at us. We're here, together, stronger than ever. Chloe, surprisingly contemplative, added, You've taught me a lot, Emily. About strength, about honesty, about trust. Emily smiled at her, feeling a weight lift from her shoulders. And you've taught me something, too, that even people who seem impossible can change, if given a chance. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Emily pulled out her phone, texting Patrick. Emily, today was perfect. Thanks for being there. Patrick, always. Can't wait for tomorrow. And every day after that, Emily's heart swelled. The battles weren't entirely over. Threats could arise, challenges would come, but she knew she wasn't facing them alone anymore. For the first time in weeks, she felt a profound sense of peace. The storm had passed, leaving clarity, trust, and hope in its wake. Standing at the edge of the rooftop, Emily looked over Ridgewood High. She thought of every moment, the bullying, the traps, the betrayal, the fights, and realized that each trial had shaped her into someone unbreakable. She turned to her friends and said softly, We survived. We won, and together, we'll face whatever comes next. They all smiled, the bond between them unspoken but unshakable. If Emily's courage and resilience inspired you, comment Fearless Emily below. If you believe in standing up for yourself and your friends, share this video and remind others that bravery and friendship can overcome even the toughest challenges. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Emily's story proves that even the hardest battles can lead to the most powerful beginnings. The final scene fades with Emily, Jake, Chloe, Madison, and Brooke walking together down the school hallway. Side by side, the golden light illuminating their path. A new chapter awaits, and Ridgewood High will never be the same again. The screen cuts to black with the words, Sometimes, the strongest battles are the ones that teach us who we truly are. The story ends here, a blend of courage, friendship, and emotional triumph. Emily has grown, bonds have strengthened, and the foundation is laid for whatever adventures lie ahead.